Hello, 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 everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Trynette Lariba, the Curvy Fit lifestylist and founder of Curvy Fit Chicks. I help curvy women to activate, appreciate, and accentuate their curves by providing resources that promote holistic fitness and wellness. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just here very shortly because something came to my mind that I wanted to share. So I'm just here to share that very briefly. So what that is that I wanted to say, don't let something consume you so much that it distracts you from actually taking care of yourself. So for example, what I notice is that many people are may have a certain cause that they are very passionate about. However, there comes a point when there can be an unhealthy amount of attention, almost obsession that you're putting into what you claim to be passionate about, that it takes over who you are and you start to lose you. And not only do you start to lose you emotionally, but also physically and spiritually. So you have to be very careful about what you're spending your time in and how much time you're spending. There has to always be some level of balance within your life. I do know that there's always going to be something. So know when you're speaking of balance, I'm not talking about everything level because that's not going to happen until we have left this earth. But what I'm saying is there has to be some level of I guess balance, for lack of a better word. Dr. Tammy used harmony, but there has to be some of that going on within your life. There should not be too much up here of something and something else is down here. Where there is too much of a gap, where there is a lack or inconsistency somewhere, it's going to cause problems for you. And especially when you're so obsessed with something and you're neglecting you. So one of the things that I was talking about was, how you doing, Joy? One of the things that I'm noticing is last month was Heart Awareness Month, right? And I noticed so many different women groups who claim to empower women were talking about going red, and they had a red party and they put on red clothing and they had a 1 day event, maybe even 1 week of posting things, right? But yet and still, I know that in these particular groups that will go nameless, they have all types of activities that they're doing all the time, different balls, different events, different this, different that, of which take up a lot of time for these women. So my question really is, how is that really helpful to you, right? If heart disease, for example, is the number one killer of women, and you're in an organization that is empowering women, but it is not empowering you to take on the responsibility of taking care of yourself, it is not telling you that in order to really show self-love, self-worth, self-appreciation, that means you are first and foremost taking care of yourself. We're not just talking some mani-pedi. No, we're not just talking about sitting and writing in a journal. There has to be some level of physical activity because our bodies are physical, chemical organisms that are moving, changing, evolving, and it works off of energy. Your body was meant to move. There cannot be any such taking care of yourself if you're not doing those things. So how can we really say that we're empowering women when we're not empowering them to use their own power, their voice, their choices, things that are within their control to make their lives better? This is obviously, we're obviously at war here. Like, this is no time to sit around. Like, this is the number one killer. This is huge. This is not just, I'm going to donate money to an organization and do a walk. This is ground roots. Women have to equate taking care of myself equals physical, emotional, spiritual activities that are going to uplift me. And I'm not saying that you need to be out of balance. Even God gave us a day of Sabbath that we're to do absolutely nothing. Okay. So that is not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is you cannot neglect and focus on you're going to be the best CEO. You're going to be the best parents. You're going to be the best organizer. You're going to be the best anything if you're not first ministering to your own self. To your body, your temple, it ministers before you. You know, it goes out before you. It is speaking for you. What do I want my body to communicate to others? Do you know what I'm saying? You can't go out there mandating and say, we want women's rights and we want equality. You can't go out there and say that when you haven't shown that you value yourself. You haven't shown that you value your other sisters within the community, whatever community where you dwell. If we are not staying healthy, helping each other heal, being accountable first to ourselves and then to others, women, we cannot say that we are definitely, oh yeah, we're empowering women. We want the best for women. How are you going to somebody else and trying to make demands without first taking care of your own home? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it has to start. Oh, how you doing? Just here. Thank you, Tracy, for popping in. But it has to start with you. And that just goes for any other movement or whatever it is that you need to do. Start with you, people. We must start within ourselves. I know this is Women's History Month, and you're going to hear a lot of people, you know, saluting women. And I salute women. I'm a woman myself, and I adore and love being a woman and the strength and vulnerability and sexiness and courageousness of a woman in her being. But I understand that I must first execute my own power. We have our own power. We have our own strength. There's nothing that diminishes who we are as beings, as women. There's no need for you to feel like your validation has to be from a man or that the comparison needs to be to a man. We are, you know, complete whole beings, all within ourselves, made by God. And this is what we're to do. We're to love ourselves before we can love anyone else. We're to understand what that love is. And you cannot love without action. And one of those actions are going to be how you are taking care of your temple, where you dwell, where you live. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess this is kind of, so this is kind of my soapbox because, you know, I'm just kind of disheartened about, you know, heart disease being the #1 killer. I mean, the way the news presents things and the way you're always seeing these different articles and blogs and this and that, you would think that it was something that, quote unquote, was something that you had no control over. You know, the murders, the this, the that, and the other. But it's heart disease. That means that there's something within our control. That means that we're neglecting ourselves, that we are not putting our own selves on a pedestal. You know, and charity begins at home. Our parents stress that to others. You have grown up in, you know, in a Black family that is, you know, in the church, especially Pentecostal. You have heard that saying a million times, that charity starts in the home, right? It starts with you. So let us first, before we are embarking on worrying about what the next group is doing, worry about trying to, you know, what the men are doing over here and over there. Look, let them be them. We need to worry about ourselves, worry about how we're taking care of ourselves so that we can continue to give, to grow, and love on the next generation. It has to begin with us, right? Teach a woman, teach a nation. Heal a woman, honey, you have healed a nation. You understand? So thank you. That is me on my soapbox on this afternoon. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, feel free to go ahead and comment, share out the video. Let's get this conversation on and popping, and let's continue it all month long. All right. All right. Thank you so much. Remember to live well, stay curvy, fit, well, and whole. Bye-bye.